What if God is looking at your power and saying, I don't want you to grow. I want you to support someone else. Are you willing to take that strength that you have and put it under the control of God if it means you don't get to grow, to be seen, to be popular, to make the money off of it, if it goes to someone else? Is that okay? If all of your efforts, that you put out there are never seen, but your church is happier and growing, the network you're part of is happier and growing, the other creators that you're helping are happy and growing, your relationships at home are happy and growing, but nobody ever sees it and nobody knows, and and your channel, your content, whatever, isn't going anywhere. Is that enough for you? Are you okay with taking your power, your strength, your talent, your money, your abilities, putting it under the control of God and saying, if I don't get anything out of this, I'm okay with that because I trust. When Jesus said, blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth, he was serious. And that in the end, because I've been serving God with this, because I've been serving people with this, because it's not about me, I will stand with Jesus someday next to him as a co-heir to Christ and go, I'm glad I'm here because I gave it all for Jesus. It's interesting because we just talked about this verse not too long ago. It's blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. This is part of the Sermon on the Mount, which the Sermon on the Mount is the longest chunk of sermon, as in like message, that we have from Jesus that he preached while on a mountain. He was on the side of a mountain. There's a sermon on the mountain, there's a sermon on the plain, and this isn't the only time he gave a sermon. If you look at the end of Matthew, you have, he gave another one to a couple people. Like, it's not like he did one big sermon and then they wrote it down and that was it. This is an example of the type of thing he would do regularly. He'd go and teach. So they took one or amalgamated a bunch of the things that he usually said, put them into one chunk, called it the Sermon on the Mount, and the way it began with was something called the Beatitudes, or the blessed are, happy are's. And this one, I'm not going to go through the whole thing because there's so much we can talk about. If I open that up, that context, we will be here for 1,000 years. But so I'm just going to keep it to blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Especially considering there's two words in there that I think are especially important for content creators for what we're about to talk about. So blessed, happy, content, connected to God. That word is important. So how do you get to that blessing, to the contentedness, to the happiness, to seeing this world and feeling like you are effective and connected to God in the right way? The answer is, blessed are the meek. And there's a whole bunch of different answers in the Beatitudes, who will inherit the earth. So first off is meek. That's the first word. To be meek is to take all of your creativity. It's not to be, so to be meek is not to be a doormat. It's not to be, say that you are worse than you are. To be meek is not to simply say, I'm garbage and everybody else is better than me. It's not to be a doormat. It's not to deny your own creativity. It's not to even say that you're not good at stuff. It's not to even say that you're the best at stuff. Meek people, it has nothing to do with denying who God created you to be, or denying your skill set, or denying using it, or even knowing that you're good at it. What meekness is taking your creativity, taking your power, taking whatever you're good at, and bringing it under the control of another authority. That's what it means. You are creative, you are strong, you are powerful, you are, talented, you are rich, you are whatever your strength is. You take that strength, and instead of using it for yourself, instead of using it how you want to use it, you take that power, that strength, that whatever it is, and you bring it under the authority of someone else. Whether it be the king or your lord or your father or the police or whatever. And for a Christian, it's under the power of God. So God gives you a gift. God creates you with a talent. God gives you opportunities. God puts good things in advance for you to do, for you to be able to go out there and use those talents with. And then he says, now do what I want you to do with them. A meek person goes, okay, I submit my power, strength, talent, ability, money, everything to you, God, to do with as you will. Tell me what you want me to do. A non-meek person, the opposite of that, takes the gifts from God, takes those talents, takes those abilities, takes the money, takes the whatever they have, that's their strength, and they say, I'm going to use this for myself. I will elevate myself. I will use it to push down people I don't like. I will use it to hurt the people that I want to hurt. I'll use it to, pump myself up to the people I want to pump up. I will use it for my own benefit and for the benefit of the things that I think are important. That is a person who's not meek. Now, they can look very similar on the outside, right? You can have someone who is super talented, really popular, making money, doing all sorts of wonderful things in this world. And you can see someone who is popular and making money, and they are doing it, and they're doing the same thing. Say they're a singer, right? And they look the same, they sound the same, but at the same time, this person's meek. They're using it to pump people up. They're using, in the background, they're using their money to produce and to elevate new creators. They are using their talent to glorify God, to bring peace to others, to bring joy to other people. They recognize that it's something they were given, and so they're using it. They want to use it for the sake of others. That's what they're doing. This person over here, and they might be filling like stadiums. This person over here says, I have a talent. I'm worth being seen. So when they're offered an opportunity to serve someone else, they say, no, it's about me. Who can I use to elevate myself? They can start producing for other people, but they're like, I'm only producing for people who will make me look good, make my cause look good, make my label look good, and therefore it's all about me. It all tends to focus on that one person. Now, this person over here is meek. Why are they happy? Because when they use their talents, they see people change. They see people blessed. They see someone who has less grow to more. They see someone who was unhappy become happy because they were used to do that. Their happiness through their gift using, through whatever they've got going, ends up glowing because they see that they are being used by God to help people in a special way. This person, right, that celebrity, that happiness is incredibly fleeting because there's pressure. Right? What if my voice starts to go? What if my looks start to go? What if I'm not as powerful as I once was? What if I make a bad business decision, and suddenly I'm not top of the heap. Suddenly I'm not as popular. Now their personal identity, their self-esteem, all that stuff is built on this top. And so they don't live in happiness and flourishing. They live in fear, and they live with control issues, and they live with all sorts of anxiety and frustration and whatnot. This person over here is like, if I don't sing today, right? If I get a cold or whatever, I can still use my gifts and talents and whatever God's given me to help others, right? If my voice goes away, I still know stuff. I can go and help people and love people and elevate others, and I'm still blessed. This person over here, they've lost their identity. They fall apart, right? It looks the same on the outside, but one is blessed and one is not. The meek are the ones who are blessed. Now, those are the people that will inherit the earth. Now, we're talking about money today, right? So we're talking about the title of the video is how to make money on YouTube. And obviously, Harris Heller's good at titling videos in such a way that you want to click on them, right? People want to make money on these things. If you put, you need to work really hard and most of you suck, here's why. It wouldn't go, right? So how to make money is going to make it. But what we're talking about, so the question is, when you serve in your meek way, every content creator out there wants to create content. Part of that is turning into a professional or turning some way, making the content into something that will hopefully generate income so they can keep making it and do better, right? That's not everybody does that, but a lot of people do. And so if their focus is on the money, is on the powers, on the influences, on themselves and their own growth, they will, and that's what they're seeking to inherit. That's what they're putting their energy into. They're going to get spazzed out. They're going to get stressed out. They're going to get they're never going to be happy, because no matter how big they get, there's someone bigger. No matter how rich they get, there's someone richer. No matter how celebrity they get, there's someone that they look up to. Like, it's never going to be good enough. So when they seek to inherit power or inherit wealth or inherit, celebrity status, it's going to end up, being stressful and miserable for them. Whereas the person who is seeking to inherit the earth is in the person who wants to serve God in such a way that their priorities are subservient to the one who rules the planet. They go, I want to give everything that I have and all the things that God's created me to be so that the world is a better place. God goes, great, I give it to you, right? Because you're using your gifts and talents and your abilities to make this world a better place in my name. Everything you do points back to me in glory. Everything you do comes back to me in praise. Everything you do creates more people that love each other and love me. That's what you're doing. Absolutely. So they get to be connected to the world and they inherit the earth. Whereas this person, because their power is out of control, because their power isn't connected to God, because their power is connected to self, they build their own fiefdom. They set themselves apart from God. They work for the enemy, and they end up, becoming an enemy of God, which in the end, you don't inherit the earth. You end up in, damned, condemned. And so today, as a creator, when you look out into this, when we talk about this stuff, when you think about yourself as a creator and money comes up, ask yourself the question, why am I doing this? And is my power, is my talent, is my ability, what I'm doing under the control of God, under the control of His Word, under the control of the Spirit, under control of what I know God wants me to do? Or am I using it for me, seeking to inherit power, wealth, things that are temporary, setting myself away from God, creating myself into my own little power struggle over here away from God? So that's the question. Now you might think, of course I'm not doing that. It sneaks up on you. So for example, say you are posting on TikTok or you're posting a short. You're putting the effort into it. You come up with a good idea. You push it out there. What's the thought, right? If you're anything like me, it's, I hope this goes viral. I hope this gets caught. I hope I get 1 million views. I hope that this is the thing that finally brings me to the 1,000+ subs. I hope this is the thing that finally gets to meet a partner. I hope this is the thing that tells people I'm a good creator. I hope this is the video. I want to push this out there. I hope this works. This is my attempt to go viral. And that thought for a Christian ends up becoming very bipolar, because part of the brain is like, you're like, I hope this goes viral and all these good things happen so I can do my ministry, so I can reach more people, so I can talk about Jesus to others, so I can know that God is pleased with what I'm doing and that I can bring Him, more glory through it. But at the exact same time is this nagging background thought that goes, because then I will be validated. Because then the people who told me that I shouldn't be doing this will have their mouths closed. Because then all the work that I've been putting into this thing and all the weird stuff that I've been trying to learn will finally make sense because I've poured so many hours into it, Then my fear of not having enough money, my fear of not having enough friends, my fear of not being good enough, I won't be afraid of that anymore. Right? My fear that I'm not doing the right thing and that God isn't blessing me and God doesn't like me and God isn't on my side, all that's going to go away now. And I will feel good and I will know I'm powerful, and everything that I've done will be affirmed, and therefore I will know that I'm strong and I will know that I'm good, and I will be able to leverage it for paying my bills, and I'll be able to leverage it for bringing up more content creators, and I'll be able to build my own name, and people will look at my name and go, that's so cool. You're so awesome. I want to be just like you. That all that happens is a big mush together. It's a big mush together. The danger is that when you are using your power, is it in a meek, obedient way, or is it in a self-serving way? You have to really chew on this stuff, because it's very, very, very tempting to think, yeah, everything I do is only for the glory of God always, and not for my own sake. I've seen plenty of Christian creators who point to self, who look at self, who are about themselves, who tout themselves, and because they believe that if they can build themselves up and they can become the name, and their channel can become the channel, and their content can become super, popular, that then they will pivot it to serving God, or they'll pivot it in such a way that they can actually glorify God with it. And so they're like, I'm building it on me, I'm working on me. But what ends up happening is that is not power under control. You haven't said to God, here's my power, do with it whatever you want. Because does that give him the option to say, well, I don't want you to be a streamer, and I don't want you to be a content creator, and I don't want you to be successful, and I don't want you to grow. I want you to parent your kids. I want you to serve your church. I want you to serve your community. I want you to go and use those talents to pump someone else up. There's someone else out there who doesn't have what you have, but I want to elevate them because they have been, they're the kind of person I can use. They're humble. They are kind, they are gentle, but they suck at what they're doing. They need your support. What if God is looking at your power and saying, I don't want you to grow. I want you to support someone else. Are you willing to take that strength that you have and put it under the control of God if it means you don't get to grow, to be seen, to be popular, to make the money off of it, if it goes to someone else? Is that okay? If all of your efforts, that you put out there are never seen, but your church is happier and growing, the network you're part of is happier and growing, the other creators that you're helping are happy and growing, your relationships at home are happy and growing, but nobody ever sees it and nobody knows, and and your channel, your content, whatever, isn't going anywhere. Is that enough for you? Are you okay with taking your power, your strength, your talent, your money, your abilities, putting it under the control of God, and saying, if I don't get anything out of this, I'm okay with that, because I trust when Jesus said, blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth, he was serious. And that in the end, because I've been serving God with this, because I've been serving people with this, because it's not about me, I will stand with Jesus someday next to him as a co-heir to Christ and go, I'm glad I'm here because I gave it all for Jesus. That's the question. That's the question. It's hard because this thing by its very nature is very, self-focused. Like, this isn't the Jesus channel. This is the XtianNinja channel, right? It's my face that's on here. It's my face that goes in the thumbnail. It's crazy that it's how much of me is in this and how hard it is to twist myself away from self-serving and try to make sure that I'm serving others. And so therefore, I have a few habits. And this is me coming up with it in my head. I don't have this written down anywhere. So here's a few ways that I try to stay humble. Number one, I've made a rule that says I will only encourage people when I'm on the internet. When I tweet, when I post, when I'm in chat, when I am in Discord, when I'm whatever, what I say will be encouraging. Okay? What I say will be encouraging. I will not be a discourager. I will not be bitter. I will not be self-seeking for attention. I will not post things simply because I know they will go viral. I choose to be positive and to encourage people through my content. That's what I want to do. Okay? That's my rule for when I post in social media. The second thing is, I actively look to promote people on my stream. When I'm talking to people and someone is in here, I on purpose say, you should go to this person's stream. You should be talking to this person. They are great. I like them, and you should be giving them your attention. The danger in the back of the mind is what if they give their attention to that person and I lose it, right? What if they go there and they're like, actually, Donnie's a better streamer. I don't want to be around with XtianNinja anymore because they stream at the same time and I'd rather listen to Donnie. That's the fear. But if I keep talking about other people, right? If I keep saying, you should go check out ukulele, you should go check out Time with Becca, you should go check out, go look at these people. I believe in it with every fiber of my being that is me being meek. I'm using the power, the influence, the whatever little bit that I have in the world to elevate people because I'm choosing to be meek. I'm choosing to use it for the sake of others. That's another way that I try to remember to be meek. I think another one is to learn from experts, learn from other people, learn from people who are in peers of mine, right? In other words, I don't think that I know what I'm doing. I don't assume that my decisions are right, and I don't assume that just because I think something, it's the correct path. So I go and I submit myself to others, to experts, to people who know more than me. I submit my questions to my channel, to my community. I submit it to people online. I ask questions because I don't think my perspective is perfect. I want to hear from others. There are a lot of people out there who, I've been streaming now for over a year and a half. I think 18 months, 20 months I've been doing it, right? You'd think that by now I'd be like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. If I start thinking that, I'm in deep trouble. I need to be a consistent learner. And then I think number 4, for me anyway, this is what I try to do. And I'm not tooting my own horn here. I'm just saying this is something that I do. I hope that it maybe it helps you. And that is I educate people as best I can in ways that I know that I could keep to myself. Right? So say, for example, there's somebody on stream or there's somebody that comes into my class or something. They come to me and they go, like, I learned something that I'm like, man, if I do this, it could be a real kicker for my channel. It could really get me going. You have a choice between either keeping that to yourself and going, yeah, I'm going to use this. I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm not going to bring this up to anyone. This is going to be secret just for me. Or going, I believe that God may have shared this with me. I may have discovered this. This isn't just for me. This is for everybody. And so I purposefully dump that stuff out and share it with other people. I go to the content creator Discord. I go, tweet about it. I go, someone stream and I talk about it. I try to tell people whatever little epiphanies that I possibly have, because if I keep it to myself, that's me fighting against meekness. That's me being prideful. That's me trying to keep the power and use it for myself. God gives us things. We're not meant to hold on to them for ourselves. We're meant to simply transfer them, pass them along. And as we do that, Jesus says, the measure with which we give to others, he will measure to us. And so if I'm constantly pouring out as much as I can into the laps of other people, I believe with every fiber of my being, God is going to be doing the same and more to me. Do you believe that? Or are you holding back because you think God is a Scrooge, that God's going to hold out on you? Because he won't. I don't believe he will at all. Hey, everybody. Thank you for watching. I know if you've gotten this far in the video, I want you to know that I appreciate you. And the way YouTube works is that if you could just hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, leave a comment of any kind, it tells the algorithm that I'm worth watching. So that would really help me out. If you could do that, that'd be great.